say we are corrupt. They say we fiddled the figures for Greece to enter the Eurozone. Well, some people did indeed fiddle the figures, and some people are indeed corrupt, but not us, not ordinary workers. Corrupt people are the friends of the EU bureaucrats in the cabinets, and not only in the Greek cabinet. All the governments fiddled the figures in order to enter the Eurozone, that's including Germany. But they needed assistance in order to do this. And they got it from big accounting firms and investment banks like Goldman Sachs in the USA. And they all knew about it. It was not a secret. The German company Siemens bought off high-ranking Greek officials to make sure that they supply the Greek telecom company with their own hardware. Billions were spent, hundreds of millions in presents and bribes. We didn't see any of this money and never found out exactly who took the bribes, never found out exactly how much they took. And yes, these people are corrupt. The Greek tops, the German tops, the tops in the USA, yes, they are all corrupt, but we are not corrupt. Therefore, we say no, we refuse to pay for their corruption, for their scandals, for their profits, for their deficits, and for their debts. We say this debt is not ours. In order to save the bankers, we refuse to pay back the debt because it's not ours. We demand that the banks should be owned by the society. Nationalize the banks. 1/3 of the debt is owed to Greek bankers. These same people who would have collapsed had they not had the assistance of the Greek state. These Greek banks borrowed money from the European Central Bank at 1% interest rate, and they lent it over to the Greek government at 7%. Just like the French banks did, the German banks did, and all of the European and international banks. Their role is that of parasites. Their role is an absolute scandal, because not only have they been at the root of the crisis globally, but they continue to make profits while the crisis developed and still continue to make profits. Our government and your government, for the British people, have spent fortunes to save the banks and to save bankrupt industry and the big corporations. They made us pay in order to bail them out. We say these corporations should be taken over by society, be nationalized, under the control, management, and direction of the workers' movement and society. Then production can be planned for the benefit of society. Massive investments can be made in infrastructure, in housing, education and health, productive investments, and not speculation. We must struggle to overthrow the profit system, to overthrow capitalism. We have no other choice. We must build a socialist society in the service of people. There is no other way forward. If we don't do that, we will pay a very expensive price. We already pay that. The next generation would be the only generation for decades who will be living in worse conditions than their parents. Comrades, this is not a Greek drama. This is also an Irish drama, a Portuguese drama, a Spanish and a British one. We must fight together. We are struggling hard to force our trade union leadership to really develop and plan the fight back. We have already had 4 general strikes in Greece, public and private sector together. 2 of these general strikes were 48 hours once for the public sector workers. We had participation of up to 90% in the general strikes. We had the biggest worker demos since the fall of the military dictatorship in 1974. We have strikes and demos every day, particularly in the big cities, especially Athens. Apart from the general strikes, nearly everybody has been out on strikes called by different unions on different days. The public transport workers, the mass media workers, the construction workers, the telecom workers, electricity workers, rail workers, teachers, doctors, hospital workers, sailors, dock workers. It is hard to think of who did not come out. We also have a strike on this Tuesday on 29th. But this, comrades, is not enough. This is not enough to bend the enemy. We must all be out, but in a coordinated way. 24-hour general strikes are not enough. Every worker on the street will tell you that we need longer and harder struggles, would be ready to come and stay out for as long as it takes. For when they take away from us 2 to 3 months' wages every year, we have nothing to lose. Therefore, we should use our power not only to defeat the bosses and capitalism, but also to establish a new socialist society. Brothers and sisters, we have to fight together. It's a huge plus that today, in a number of European countries, similar such events are taking place. I feel privileged to address you, and my co-workers and my comrades want this exchange to continue. We have to see it as a first step to coordinate our struggles better and to move in a direction of an all-European 24-hour general strike. Development would shake the foundations on which the ruling classes base themselves in Europe. And this is not a joke. Such a development would raise the struggles of the working class to a higher level. We have to go for it. We have to build for it. Everything shows that 29th of September can become a day of 24-hour general strike in a number of European countries. The European Confederation of Labour has decided to have a day of action all over Europe on September 29. The Spanish TUC has decided to have a 24-hour strike on that day. We'll fight for the same in Greece. Let us all try to turn this day into a 24-hour general strike. Let us all fight back. Let us all fight to make the bankers and big capital pay for all the pain and all the suffering they have caused. Thank you.